Bread and a homemade tagine prepared by his neighbour. Kevin's discovering the upside of life in the countryside. The young Frenchman's just settled in a village near Marrakesh, where he lives side by side with Moroccans. These simple pleasures are a far cry from life in his hometown, rainy Nantes in western France.
That's sort of what I was looking for in coming here to Morocco, this authenticity and the landscape here.
At 23, Kevin's taken the plunge and left behind a gloomy summer in France.
Pommes de terre, carottes, tomates.
Kevin shares his Sunday meal with his boss. For the past month, he hasn't had to think about Europe's economic crisis. After studying landscape architecture, he did various odd jobs back home before answering a job offer in Morocco. He says the choice to leave France came naturally. In Marrakesh, it's back to work after a relaxing weekend. Around 55,000 French people live in Morocco. At first, they were mainly retirees, but more and more young people are now moving here to establish professional lives outside of France.
It's 9 o'clock now. We're supposed to arrive at work at 9 a.m. and leave around 7 or 8 in the evening. Depends on what we have to do. We actually work more hours here. Compared with France, where you have 35 or 39-hour work weeks, here it's 44 hours, so they're pretty full weeks. We weren't anticipating hours like this. When there's work to be done, if we have to come in on the weekend, we do.
Hello? Hello, Amanda. Can you hear us?
Amanda, Aurore and Audrey are young entrepreneurs. Aged 24 and 25, they've launched a deluxe magazine in Rabat, the Moroccan capital. A married mother, Amanda decided to stay in France, but the internet allows her to work from a distance. She's in charge of marketing the magazine in Europe, while Aurore and Audrey take care of the rest in Morocco.
We do everything on our own. Everything. From A to Z. Administration, accounting, communication, sales and marketing, editing, layout, all of it.
It's barely a year since the trio created the magazine. Back home, Audrey was a freelance graphic designer, Aurore a press attaché, Amanda unemployed. They had plans to start a business in France, but left when the economic crisis hit in 2008.
It's true that I would have liked to go to Spain, but the fact is they have 25% unemployment. It's going very badly there. I think I was right in not going. I worry a little about all the friends who have stayed in France, but to see people who have salaries, who are supposed to have a certain level of security making such choices, now they're faced with doing anything just to make ends meet. They are well educated, have master's degrees and so forth, but no jobs. They work in fast food restaurants or as waiters. For me, that's something deeply shocking. That pushed me to leave.
I left because I had no interest in career opportunities. I didn't have good enough connections and I wanted to do something else. Starting a company in France was inconceivable. It's scary and the expenses are enormous.
Tamara, a suburb of Rabat on the Atlantic coast. Aurore's adapting to Moroccan bureaucracy and learning to be patient with a smile.
I'm going to get my residence permit. I've been waiting 6 months, but miracles can happen.
It's been a long wait, but retired people and those who come to set up companies normally gain resident status within a few months.
So here's my residence permit that I've been waiting for 6 months. It's only valid for a year, and I think next week I can come back to start the paperwork for the next one. But I'm so happy, I'm finally legal.
Like Aurore, Charlotte from Bordeaux fled France 3 years ago. Straight out of architecture school, she simply couldn't find work and ended up answering an internet ad for a job in Rabat. 2 weeks later, she moved to Morocco.
What was important for me was to truly live the experience. I came here by chance, totally by chance. It was all about a change of spirit, and a change of place.
Charlotte had no trouble settling in and adapting to local customs. But even today, she's still learning. At the market, she buys fabric. And the vendors here seem pleased to see a foreigner who's at home in their culture.
واخا مزيان هاكا سيدي شكرا عطيني الميكا كاين شكرا
He said 5 dirhams for the roses and 5 dirhams for the cone of lavender. That's 50 centimes and it's good. The little extra things that we get, that we try, yes, it's nice. In France, it's different. Going to the butcher or the florist is out of the question. It's too expensive. So instead, you go to supermarkets. Here, I almost never go to big supermarkets.
But despite loving the noise and colour of daily life, Charlotte won't be here much longer. Administrative problems, loneliness and professional disappointment have gotten the better of her. She'll head back to France in a few months, leaving behind her job, apartment and the life she's built here.
Me, I don't see it as a failure or as the end of, well, it's the end of something. I'm trying to convince myself it's the start of something else. After all, nothing is ever totally over. For sure, I'm dreading missing all sorts of things. I'm afraid of not being able to readapt. But I know that if I can't readapt, I'll leave again. I'm expecting the first months will be hard. People told me this. I've been told to expect to feel down. I think I probably will.
A private nursery in Marrakesh.
Oh, des cactus.
Oh, cactuses.
Voilà, ça c'est
Well,
l'accueil.
here you are. Check out the welcome.
Ah, voilà, ça c'est de l'accueil, tu vois, au moins on est
We're
pas
not
tout
on
seul.
our own. It's a guided visit.
For Kevin, it's a far cry from landscape architecture textbooks.
C'est vrai que j'ai jamais rien vu de pareil en France.
It's true, I've never seen anything like it in France, even in nurseries. In France, that's spotted, and these are much smaller sizes. It's spectacular. The fields, they're endless. Over there, agaves and fields of golden barrel cactus. It's great working in landscape architecture, yeah. I'm having a great time. It's a real treat.
Je sors des études. J'étais encore étudiant.
Just a year ago, I was still a student. Right after graduating, I got the job here as a freelancer to help Pascal as an assistant on a large-scale project.
Sur un projet d'une grande ampleur, quoi. Quelque chose que j'aurais peut-être
Something I never would have had the chance to do again later in my career, and at the age of 23, it's really great.
C'est vraiment chouette. C'est chouette.
Kevin is staying at least 6 months to work on a large, top-secret project. For Pascal, he fitted a profile he just couldn't find in Morocco.
Kevin already has experience because he was an intern for several months. He has skills in computer graphics. He's an excellent graphic designer.
As a foreign entrepreneur in Morocco, Pascal gets plenty of mail from France.
We get a lot of CVs from young people looking for work, and I'm quite surprised. They're often looking for internships with the possibility of getting hired. There are a lot of them, and it troubles me a little to see all these young people who have got their degrees but have found no work in the field they were hoping to.
Elsewhere, Audrey's never given up on her dreams of success. Through her friend Fatih, she learns that Europeans are often better paid and more highly regarded than young Moroccans.
I think there's a respect for foreigners and a perception that they're always qualified, especially Europeans. Meaning that, yes, this person is more qualified because of their training or skills, so they aren't assessed carefully. The result is that positions of responsibility end up going to Europeans, and the executive is Moroccan. It's always interesting to see how these young people with the same age and profile deal with our culture, our way of doing things. There are many who run into difficulties when they work on projects without understanding the social and cultural point of view, how people think and function, how clients can react, but it's always a win-win for both parties.
The work opportunities may be better, but many young French people who fled the crisis won't be staying here forever. Away from family and friends for 3 years, Charlotte's fed up and needs a change.
Not seeing them regularly, I miss that. I miss my friends, and I also miss certain things in France. Not just things like pork and cheese, I miss the way people act. There are things that make me feel more restricted here, and I have less freedom. All the people who arrive don't understand why I'm leaving. They all ask, why are you going back? Here you've got this, you've got that. But I say, yes, there's this, but there's not that. It's true, there are many great things here that seem amazing at first, but don't fool yourself. This is a very difficult country to adapt to. And there's a certain point of view about foreigners here. People trust you more, but you remain different. People might try and fool you, and there are administrative headaches with work contracts. It all takes ages, so you feel like you're in an unstable situation.
These newcomers still have a fresh outlook on Morocco. Full of hope, Aurore, Audrey and Kevin are discovering a new culture and a country where young people have an important role to play. But Charlotte's moving away from the sunshine, hoping to build a future in a France in crisis.